Ric Flair's greeting again.
Woo!
Woo! Ric Flair not happy about the tradition that was broken at WrestleMania 39. It wasn't the fact they broke a tradition of putting on a good show, it was the fact the Rumble winner didn't go on last.
Well, let's be honest, that tradition of putting on a good show was broken a long time ago.
Exactly, it was, but you know what? Ric Flair started greeting, and you know what? It was always going to happen.
I just seen the title, Ric Flair questions WWE decision to break tradition at WrestleMania 39, and automatically I knew this is what it was about. Could have been about numerous things, but I knew Ric Flair was going to be pissing his pants over the fact that his plastic man looking daughter didn't get to main event. So this is what Ric Flair said on his podcast that he does with Conrad Thompson, and he said, quote, "We're talking about what I think should personally happen in the promotion. There's no way that Sami and KO and the Usos would go on after Ashley and Rhea. No way. Only in WWE." Then Conrad Thompson, he put his wee input in. He says that he thinks that Usos and versus KO and Sami had the better story, therefore he thought that should have main evented, but Rick was like, quote, "That's not the point. We're talking about a single championship from a girl that won the Royal Rumble. Why are we just breaking tradition for one night? For what? Why are we breaking tradition for one night?" End of quote. That wasn't me repeating myself, that was Ric Flair.
It's not just one night though, Rick, because this has happened on numerous occasions. Rey Mysterio, you look at the year The Rock and Cena faced each other.
Undertaker won the Royal Rumble and he didn't main event with Batista.
But see, you know what the problem is these days, right? Even though that was some of those examples, 15, 10 years ago, blah, blah, blah. See these days...
Sheamus, Daniel Bryan.
See the story of the Rumble winners? They're shite. They're not good. It's literally the fact they've won the Rumble and that's it. See, back in the day, man, it was proper builds, Batista, thumbs down to Triple H. That's what you want. Well, what is the Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair feud? What is it?
It was a little bit better than the Asuka Bianca Belair one, but that was not.
It was basically, here, I couldn't beat you 3 years ago, but I'm going to beat you tonight.
Yeah, there was absolutely no rivalry, no heat, no nothing. No one really wanted to see it.
But let's be real, right? See if it did main event, it would be Ric Flair questions WWE's decision to have Rhea go over Charlotte. They'd have found something to fucking hang about it.
Yeah, they found something on it, but for me personally, I think the tag team match had to be the main event. The Bloodline have been the dominating WWE now for the past couple of years. Even Charlotte's title reign has been absolutely terrible. I mean, no one has cared about her title reign.
Who cares about Rhea Ripley winning? See the fact that Rhodes got beat against Reigns, it makes night one that bit better, the fact the Bloodline were conquered to a degree, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So see if the Bloodline get conquered and like halfway through night one, that's fucking
Plus,
pish.
I mean, if you want to spin it against Ric Flair, I mean, majority WWE like to have the face go over in the main event. I know that didn't happen with Roman Reigns because Roman Reigns goes over every main event.
He does not.
But more often than not, WWE prefer the face to win in the main event of WrestleMania. They like to send the crowd home happy. So you could argue that's another traditional reason as to why the tag team match should have main evented. But yeah, no, Ric Flair here. It doesn't matter who wins the Royal Rumble these days, right? That was a long time ago. Once that tradition was broken, and I agree, I don't think the Royal Rumble winner should just main event. If the feud's shit, then why should the main event?
Exactly. No, you're absolutely right on the money. And Rick, I mean, especially when it's the women, like, come on. See, ever since they got their Rumbles, you try to tell me, I mean, I know all the women that have won Rumbles, not exactly.
Like, how many people have said, and Ric Flair even says this, Ric Flair says this all the time, Rock Hogan should have went on last.
Well, there you go.
Hogan or Rock, didn't they win the Royal Rumble? So where's his decision with that? Could you imagine if he didn't put Cena Rock WrestleMania 28? Imagine that wasn't on last.
I know. Like, Punk and Jericho can complain to whatever degree they want. I mean, it was never going to go on last. But Ric Flair, you know what?
What are you on about? Sheamus was on the Royal Rumble that year. He went on first.
Right, you know what? I watched there. You're right.
He did, aye.
See Ric Flair, right? He's built up a lot of respect in my bank. The bank of Stevie, right?
But he's running it.
Aye, is.
He's running it.
See every time
he's running out the bank of Stevie like the blood runs out of Ric Flair's forehead.
See when you look at these articles, it's rare you see a W for Ric Flair these days.
Yeah, every time he just complains and cries and bitches about something that he doesn't even really have a point in.
Like, great Muta's speech, and he's talking about his dead son. Alright, fair enough, your son's dead.
No, but that speech is supposed to be about Great Muta, and Ric Flair made it about himself.
I know.
See, at the end of the day, it's funny. We can all say it's funny, but it's kind of lame. It's kind of cheap.
I'd be willing to bet a lot of money that Great Muta did fuck off for Ric Flair. And that's not burying Great Muta. I think it was just the him to try and spit it into the speech.
And anyway, moving on for that. What if it was back to WrestleMania being one night? Who does Ric Flair think should main event? I wouldn't be surprised if he thinks Ashley should main event over Reigns.
My big Ashley, but no, man, never. Come on. It's the right. You know what? See, actually, out of all the things they got wrong, it was one of the few things they got right.
Yeah.
Across Mania weekend.
I think everybody was saying for weeks that should be the main event. I remember when we first made a video on the fact that Rhea Charlotte was supposed to be the main event, and we didn't respond well to it. I don't think any of the subscribers responded well to it. Everybody legit for weeks thought that tag team match should be the main event. And it rightfully was, in my opinion, for night one.
It was. No, absolutely. WWE got it right on the melon.
Ric Flair got it wrong. And he talks about breaking tradition too. I mean, since when was the Women's Royal Rumble tradition? It's only been around for like 4 years. It's not really a traditional thing.
I know. He just sucks, man. Ric Flair. I'm sorry. You and your wee buddy Conrad. Is it Conrad he does it with?
Aye.
Two disasters. But at least Conrad had the right opinion here. Even if he is fat.
Yes.
And disgusting.
And kisses
Rick's
Tony
ass.
Khan's ass. Aye, well, and Rick's. Anyway, guys, we're not kissing anybody's
But you
ass.
know what he says only in the WWE? He said fucking AEW is doing great.
Aye.
It's a flood.
Anyway, guys, that is it. We'll catch you in the next one. Let us know your thoughts. Do you think WWE got this right? Or do you think Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley should have main evented? Look, I've no issue with the winner of the Royal Rumble main eventing, but if that's the case, then you need to at least make the story good. The rivalry needs to be hot, and there was nothing hot about Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. No one cared about it. You could argue there was multiple matches. Hell, Rey Mysterio Dominic was more over going into it than that match.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I mean, it's one thing, the Royal Rumble main eventing it, but the feud has to be good, and this one really wasn't between Rhea and Charlotte. I mean, the match was alright, but the feud was shit. So, yeah, guys, that's it. Leave your opinions down below. We'll catch you in the next one. And, of course, until then, peace.